Bloody Religion by J.C. Maine, independently published, 2022. Crayton Sullivan and his wife Shanika decide to leave the state of North Carolina in order to pursue a better life in the town of Glenfield, Virginia. He looks forward to exploring the area with the assistance of his first cousins, Kevin and Hakeem Armstrong. His wife is especially excited when she discovers that a televangelist named Ezekiel Hopeland has a church located in the area. Over time, however, they realize that everything is not as great as it appears. Crayton discovers that numerous people have been disappearing mysteriously in the town for years. Things go from bad to worse when one of his cousins goes missing as well. What happens next will take Crayton on a supernatural journey, one that might lead him and his loved ones to the point of no return. Over time, however, they realize that everything is not as great as it appears. Over time is an exaggeration here, because the sketchiness of the story picks up really quick. This story had me hooked from the prologue. I was not 100% sure what to expect from the story other than a connection to religion, which is something that's always fascinated me. But being hit with the supernatural right from the start piqued my interest even more, and the mostly fast pace of the story kept me returning to it each day to see what would happen next. The book explores the possible dark side of a television evangelist that, come on, be honest, most of us have had that thought from time to time. The sprinkling of the supernatural aspect of this one, however, is sure to take it somewhere that most of our minds would have never gone to on its own. For the story itself, we follow along as Crayton and his wife Shanika relocate, and Crayton follows his career in the hotel hospitality line. He's quickly climbing through the ranks and making some serious career moves. When it is revealed that their new town has a church led by Shanika's favorite TV pastor, the move seems even that much better. Shanika pursues an active role in the church as Crayton continues to better himself with his career, and life doesn't seem to be able to get much better. Then missing people cases, murder, and the supernatural takes the reader on a whirlwind of a story, and the author keeps his foot on the gas for the entire ride. As far as characters, this story performs really well. Crayton is a well-rounded character, one that you can easily identify with and get behind as the main protagonist. His drive to better himself and his family is a theme that most everyone can identify with. But unfortunately, so are the pitfalls when that drive takes your focus away from the loved ones around you. Shanika plays a pretty good supporting character for Crayton. She's an easily believable character and fits in well with the story. Her strive for fame, blind trust, and idolization of stardom is a conflict throughout the story that I believe many could benefit from following very closely. Pastor Hopeland is definitely the villain. Don't worry, I didn't spoil anything for you there. There's no doubt about it from his very first introduction. The progression to the reveal of who Pastor Hopeland really is and what his motives are works very well. It's nothing too fast to take the guessing away from the reader, but it's not too slow to make the reader impatient either. Okay, let's address the author's explicit content warning. The sex scenes. I have no big deal with that sort of material as long as they're used and necessary to progress a story. A couple seemed a bit unnecessary, but not in a way that took away from the story. But you know, this book made me realize how many female authors I read, because these scenes were definitely written from a male perspective. And at times they may have been a bit overly descriptive, at least based on what I'm used to. Again, not an issue with me on its own, but I would have liked to have seen as much descriptiveness put into some of the other scenes as well. Case in point, I'm left with some big questions here. Possible quick spoiler alert for anyone that wants to jump ahead past this part. I need to know about Crayton's grandfather's backstory. There's obviously something there, and it can make for a great prequel to this book. I need to know about the significance of his particular Bible too. The story mentions briefly what it's made from, but why is that important? Also, what about the necklace? There has to be lore behind it, and the story left me wanting to know exactly what it is. I'm a sucker for anything relating to or hinting at the Book of Enoch. This story teased me more than indulged me with that. That little hint early on kept me excited for a big reveal, but it just never happened. Bro, you can't tell me specifically that Trishawn is a girthy 9 inches and not tell me the significance of his Bible and necklace. Come on. I don't want to spoil the aspect of his Bible and necklace any more than that, but I need some more information. Now, don't take this the wrong way though. I'm not bashing this story at all. I've read things before where lingering questions just ruin the story for me. But with this one, it had me immediately dig through the author's catalog to see if there was anything out there before or after this book. I found no indication as to whether this was the beginning or part of a series, so I'm just left here with my fingers crossed that something new will come out soon that expands on the universe created in this book. If it were me, a prequel about Trishawn's grandfather would already be in the works. If that were to happen, or a sequel was announced that explained or expanded on these lingering questions, then I would jump at the chance to have these questions answered. This story was that strong. If the questions are never answered, that would be a bit of a disappointment for me. There's plenty of room for the story to be expanded upon, and for those that are intrigued by these spiritual aspects, I feel it could be a wonderful series. If you happen to see this, JC, get to work. Okay, I'm just joking. Sort of. You tell your story the way you see them. Just know that you've gained a fan here that needs more information. I will be watching for more from JC Maine. That's it for this week's review. I already have another one in the works for next week. Then, who knows? Maybe we'll change gears on themes a bit. Maybe not. Stay tuned to find out. Until then, find yourself a good book and enjoy a break from reality. Thanks for hanging out with me.